Anthony on Air podcast. Another episode. Frankie C is here, and we're talking about Prince Andrew again. The royal family is pleading with him to stop what he's doing, which is colossally screwing up his defense in the upcoming civil trial. We'll get into it. Chris Brown has some accusations levied against him. You will drop your jaw on this one. Jane Fonda resurfaces after 12 years of not being in the public eye. She is unrecognizable. Unrecognizable. Hang with us. We're going to get to it. Governor Hochul extends the mask mandate here in New York. A man is removed from the heart transplant list due to his unvaccinated status. Speaking of which, Sarah Palin dined out with COVID in New York. West Virginia governor tells Bette Midler to kiss his dog's ass. A bridge in Pittsburgh collapsed just hours before President Biden was supposed to be in Pittsburgh touting the infrastructure bill.
That seems planned to me.
We got a look at Frank being the conspiracy theorist. We got a new first cat. Mountain Dew's got booze now, and Kanye versus Pete Davidson. Jay Sabs will be here with an update momentarily.
I was promised before the show that there wouldn't be a lot of vax talk.
There's not. There's going to be some quick topic.
All right.
We're not going to argue about vaccines on this episode. I guarantee you that.
I don't know if you can help it.
Well, I don't know if I can help it, but I'm going to try my damnedest.
Right.
The royal family is pleading with Prince Andrew to not go to trial with Virginia Roberts Giuffre. Prince Charles and Prince William got together to plead with Prince Andrew to settle this. A source close to the situation is telling the Sun over in the UK, best outcome for everybody is that this is settled as soon as possible. Supposedly, they're making several attempts to get Andrew to stop this. Now, this is coming after he dropped that huge document that we were talking about on Wednesday.
Right.
And he was, basically saying, I want a jury trial and all this stuff. And we kind of said it was ridiculous. He's been getting laughed at in the 48 hours since that document has come out. He said he wasn't friends with Ghislaine at all. The cop who said that he was actually has documented evidence. The royal family is actually trying to discredit him because he was arrested for fraud. That guy, Paul Page.
Really?
Yeah, he was arrested for fraud in 2009. So they're trying to make it look bad for him. But, on top of the fact that, this guy is saying it, there's pictures of them at weddings and occasions. He was on the Epstein and Ghislaine were on the guest list for weddings, and
it's hard to prove that but it's hard to, when you have all those pictures of I could see one picture, you could explain that away. I'm royal family, I take pictures with everybody. But when you're in multiple shots with the same person,
yeah,
it's harder and harder to explain away.
There's trillions of shots. There's more photographs of them together than there are galaxies in the galaxy.
Oh, then that's a lot then.
Anyway, they're all freaking out, the royal family.
Is there a lawyer for the royal family, like a royal family lawyer?
Yes.
Or do they have to, whenever something comes up, they got to hire someone?
No, there's a team.
They don't go to Smith and Jones down the block?
I don't think so. No.
All right.
It would be nice. They could use the business, I hear.
They're having a tough time over there.
Expensive too, being so close to Buckingham Palace and not having Buckingham Palace as a client.
See, what's the problem for them is they dropped the E's off of the Smith, and that hurt their business.
Got it.
American.
But they're saying, Charles and everybody else, they're saying that there's deep worries and concerns that this is going to get worse for the royal family. Obviously, people have been talking about getting rid of the royal family for quite some time now. This has been I feel like, and our UK friends could chime in the comments here, but I feel like when you and I were in grammar school, we were learning about the subtleties of, UK Parliament and, the Prime Minister, and the fact that most of this stuff with the royal family is ceremonial, and do they even need it anymore? And they're paying this money to support these people. It's like a part of their culture, but at the same time, things change. And could this be one of the things that tips it in the okay, do we really need this anymore? Do we really need to be paying taxes for these people to live their lifestyles so people like him could do these horrific things to other young women?
Right. Can you imagine you're in the royal family and then all of a sudden the country you're in all of a sudden says, you know what? You guys aren't royal anymore. You're just an ordinary person. And then like a week later you gotta like get a job at like a Starbucks.
Yes, I can imagine that.
Okay.
And here's why. I feel like every single thing, every job, especially I've ever been a part of, I've gotten there 5 minutes after it was great. Like every single, I remember when I worked at the airport, you remember, to put myself, through college. And that was one of the first places where everybody there was like, man, you should have seen this place a year ago. It was paradise. Like we did whatever we wanted. We made all this money. Nobody bothered us with overtime concerns or whatever. It was like nothing.
And it seems to go downhill. All these jobs seem to go downhill after you arrive.
Now, I don't know if that's just a me thing or if that's just how people are always,
I think you're the common denominator in all these things.
they're always just fond of yesteryear. But even like
The before Anthony times.
How about radio? Radio was thriving till your old pal Ant got his first job, and then the industry was in mass decline.
They finally went, you know what? This guy's really making us rethink this whole radio thing.
Yeah.
Now that we're listening to it.
It just feels like I don't know. It just feels like every time I get somewhere, people just reminisce about how wonderful things were like 2 years ago.
I'd look inward. I'd look at yourself a little bit. You're doing something wrong.
It's crazy.
I have a feeling podcasts are gonna go. Yeah, there's not gonna be any podcasts anymore in a couple of months.
I'm gonna wipe podcasts out, I think. Yeah. Media lawyer Mark Stevens in the UK told the Daily Mail, and they interviewed him, a full trial would risk, quote, bringing down the monarchy altogether, end quote.
Bringing down the monarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
again, I know it feels a little strange because we're kind of just BSing and talking about this stuff, but I said this at the beginning. Remember, this guy on the stand is catastrophic for this country. Every newspaper is going to be talking about the fact that the Queen's son did this to a young woman and possibly several others.
It's definitely bad for obviously for the victims, but
this
also
is like the Delta wave. Like if Me Too and Harvey and Bill were the first bit of it, this is the second one where it's like,
yeah, this is like a tsunami with it. The waves just keep coming in.
Yeah.
This is wave number 2.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. And it's not, I mean, I feel like this is it's a bigger, not a bigger wave, but it's a different kind of wave too, because it's underaged grossness. The other ones were gross too, but I don't think the other ones involved underage women. Not that it's any, it's all gross.
Oh, like Harvey and all them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby, Harvey.
Yeah. Yeah. Still the power.
Lauer. It's still gross, but this is the underage wave now.
Yeah. I can't believe, like, it befuddles me. I ran into Matt Lauer afterwards. Like we made eye contact at a pizza place, and I couldn't believe he was like out in public. Like I couldn't believe, like I know it's quiet and he's just probably running to get, but I could not believe he was showing his face. Not only that, but one of my former employers put him on the air not that long ago, and I was even more dumbfounded. I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. Acting like there was nothing. Like, oh, look who's like promoting it. Like, look who popped into the studio. Yeah, promoting that he was in studio.
I can't imagine what you would talk about with him other than that.
How do you ignore that? How do
you
pretend like that didn't happen?
How's the weather? Like, what do you talk about with him other than that? That was pretty much it.
That was close. You know what? I swear to God, it happened. I don't know what was going on at a time where I just didn't have 5 minutes to put together, and I never listened to it, and I never even thought about it until this moment. So you brought up his name.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But anyway,
I don't think I brought up his name.
What was I going to say? They're basically, a lot of legal experts are saying this latest thing from Andrew is another in a long. Remember him denying he was in the photo, putting out this like. He
This
just
guy.
he's not handled one thing correctly this entire time.
I mean, he has lawyers.
A
They
lot of people
not.
advising him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if he knows if they know what they're doing, they would tell him to shut up.
Honestly.
But hey, let him keep talking. Doesn't. I'm not saying he should shut up. He should spill everything.
but it just seems like nobody can get him under control, which is so strange.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, but this is the same guy that yells at people for not putting stuffed animals in the right spot. So you try to control that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Lest we forget that. Chris Brown has been accused of raping a woman on a yacht that was parked at P. Diddy's Star Island home, according to a new $20 million lawsuit that was just filed. Singer's being sued by a Jane Doe, so she's not releasing her name.
Right.
Says she's a professional choreographer, dancer, model, and musical artist. She claims Chris went from being friendly to doing this horrific thing to her in a matter of minutes. According to the suit, which was obtained by TMZ, she claims that Chris grabbed the phone of a friend she was FaceTiming and urged her to come to Diddy's home as soon as possible on Miami's Star Island. When she arrived on December 30th, 2020, the woman claims Chris approached her and asked her if she wanted a drink, motioning her toward the kitchen area on the yacht. She claims she entered the kitchen with Chris, where he gave her a red cup of a mixed drink and they started talking. After he filled her cup a second time, she claims she began to feel a sudden, unexplained change in consciousness. According to the suit, the woman claims she also felt disoriented, physically unstable, and started to fall in and out of sleep. That's when she says Chris led her into a bedroom while she was drugged and half asleep. She claims that Chris closed the bedroom door, barring her attempt to leave, removed her bikini bottom, started kissing her. She says she mumbled for Chris to stop, but he persisted. The woman claims that he finished inside, jumped up and announced that he was done. She claims that Chris texted her the next day and demanded that she take Plan B. Although she was distraught, she claims she did exactly that. She's suing him for $20 million in damages, claiming that this has caused severe emotional distress. I feel like reading this has caused severe emotional distress for me.
I'm a little distressed now. I mean, that there's a lot of things there that can be proven, like the texts.
That's the first thing I thought of. Like, if you can show those texts,
that's
case part closed. Of it. But I mean, he could be like, "Hey, it was consensual," and then I texted her the next day to make sure. So there is a way out of it for him.
That's true.
It does put her on the boat. It does
put her on the boat, and it does say that there was an encounter. Now, was it consensual? Yeah, how do you?
Personal opinion here. I think Chris Brown is about the biggest piece of shit that we have that hasn't really ever had to pay for any of the things that he's done. Which, if you remember, do you remember the Rihanna thing?
Of course, he beat her up pretty bad.
Horrific.
Yeah.
Horrific.
Yeah. No, that was not great. No, I can't listen to his music.
I think honestly, I don't even think his music is that great. I can't stand anything that he's in. His fucking face drives me crazy. No, and it drove me nuts because I remember when he did that, and then he had like this comeback tour where everybody just magically forgave him, and I fucking never. I was yelling about this at the time, like he was on the Today Show. Radio stations started playing his music again because he had a new album coming out. I was like, what the fuck are you people doing?
Yeah, did we forget what just went on? I mean, it's hard because I feel like I remember Rihanna, like, and did she forgive him or he went to rehab or something? But I feel like that it never stopped. Like he kept doing stuff like that.
There was more stuff happening. Yeah.
And it's like, it just, he never got right. He never did. I feel like every other year was a big thing with him. Something happened.
I remember I was working at a place and they had like a pop station at the time and they started playing his stuff and I said, what are you doing? And he goes, everybody's playing it. And I was like, so this guy's a piece of shit. He's like, if we don't play it, we're going to lose. So he's like, we're just going to play it.
I would, instead of playing it, make a point and say, we're not playing this.
I'm not going to play this.
I'm going to move on.
Hey, the wife beater? Well, guess what? You won't
Yeah,
hear him on this station. That's exactly what I.
put a
This is
yeah,
why they
put a
never let me
promo out.
actually run a station. Okay, because that's exactly what I would do.
I would listen to that station.
Thanks, buddy.
Just saying.
Thanks.
Let's run a station together.
It would be the best ever. I
Who
would
would listen to
literally
it?
run. Guess what? Wife beaters need not apply here. We're not going to play. Go listen to. I would literally name my competitor and be like, who's playing the wife beater is our pals across the street. These fucking people.
You can't sue it. That's just a fact. You can't
Fact of
sue.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
We're stating a fact. We're not making any radical claims. You're
Because
playing that song.
what people don't get about radio and pop music and MTV and whatever, like pre-internet stuff, like there were like this is how the world worked. Like the record company had connections with all these radio stations and people, and they'd be like, "Oh, we're playing this," and they would literally leverage their power and get all these people to go along. And it's like once you had 40% of them, everybody else would follow. You'd get everybody.
Right.
Once one big pop station in the market's playing it, they all had to play it. And that's why he was able to come back so fucking fast afterwards. And I'm just like, there's been no explanation, there's no apology, there's no that's an unforgivable thing that you've done. What he did to that poor girl, Rihanna.
It was bad. Yeah, and I mean,
Like I understand there's domestic squabbles and whatever, but I mean, he left her like
he messed her up.
that was disgusting.
Yeah. And the only song I ever liked of his, and I don't even remember the name of it, but it was in The Office.
Mm.
And
Yeah, that's a good one.
And whenever it comes on, I change it. I'm like, I can't.
Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Something like that.
The Jim and Pam wedding. I forgot that was even him.
The wedding, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that's
It's the only one I really know of his.
Speaking of which, Unrecognizable is Jane Fonda. Give us a second. We got to do a read for Jumpstart Coffee Company. I'm sipping on my Jumpstart. I don't know if I'm getting through this episode without some Jumpstart. Frank's got a fresh package there.
Is this the first Jumpstart you're having since the vid?
Yeah. No. Did I have it the other day? I had it last show, I think.
Oh, good.
That's
right. You did, yeah. How you feeling?
Now that I'm drinking Jumpstart again, like $1 million.
Nice.
Yeah. I can't say it because people will get mad and I'll possibly get sued, but I think this is the cure for COVID, to be honest with you.
It could very well be. I mean,
but that's alleged.
Have they tested it?
I'd like to get some in Fauci's hands and see what he thinks.
Hey, listen, Fauci. Give me old pouch.
Don't you think Fauci should be fired, though? Seriously.
What?
Don't you think Fauci should be fired?
No. Why would you say that?
I just think we need a new... It's like when they fire a good coach because you're having a losing season. You just go, it ain't the coach's fault. We just need
it's like
change.
swapping. It's like pulling the goalie and switching out the goalie.
Exactly.
It's a great goalie.
Yeah.
Just having a bad day.
Just not the night. You're right. Just not the night. You got to change it up.
I think
because sometimes what happens? Sometimes the team then scores 6 goals and they win the game, and the backup, who's sleeping half the night, he winds up stopping everything.
I think you keep Fauci. You just add more people. It's not a one-person job, I feel.
Well, I don't think they should. I just think he should not be the face of it anymore. Like, let's get a new face in. Whatever. A new person to do all the press and just sit there at the press conferences and shit. And
yeah, maybe
just change it up a little bit.
If you're talking PR, then sure.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he could keep doing whatever he's doing behind the scenes and shit. Whatever happened to that other girl? She was great. Remember during the pandemic, Bricks or whatever the fuck her name was?
I can't remember.
Remember the blonde?
Yeah,
she was great. Bring her in. Anyway, Jumpstart Coffee.
What about Jumpstart? Yeah, Jumpstart Coffee.
Yeah,
gotta love it.
Dark
Navy
Roast
SEAL Foundation.
Frank showing off Navy SEAL Foundation. Go ahead. I'm gonna sip my Jumpstart while you do your read. You sound like you're doing a good job.
I'm telling you, my favorite dark roast blend. It's got the good stuff in there. Big body, the character notes, big body, dark chocolate, and smoke. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And 50%, when you buy a bag, 50% of what they pull in goes directly to the Navy SEAL Foundation. Beautiful thing. It gives right to our veterans. So that's awesome. It's made here in America. And you go to the website, you click on the link below, you put in AOA 15 as a 15% off right there. Not to mention the 50% I don't know how they're making money, but 15% off for AOA 15. And then 50% goes to the Navy SEALs, and then they keep what's left over. That's pretty good. Plus, you could do the subscribe and save. You you get a bag, 2 bags a month, whatever you want to, whatever, however fast you go through coffee, you make that decision, and they'll just keep delivering it to you until you tell them to stop. That's pretty great. And they're not expensive too. I would thought they'd be up there, but they're not that. It's not bad.
Well, they're giving away all their percentages. They should be charging $60 a bag of coffee, but it's not that at all.
It's not even close to that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna make the people thought I was gonna make the coffee ice cream on the show tonight. That's not happening. I'm gonna make it over the weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll try and film it though. Maybe I'll try and film it. I'll put together a little something.
Yeah, do a little demo, a little couple-minute thing.
Yeah,
that'd be good. Can you do it on the show?
No, I don't think I can.
You have to bring all the crap there.
It'd be too loud. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I'll do it after the show.
I don't know how it works.
Speaking of coffee ice cream, here's J Sabs.
Speaking of coffee ice, okay.
Doesn't even make sense.
No, but I'm gonna go with it.
It's rich and bold. Just
there
like
you go. Just like J Sab's shirt. What are we doing here? How many leopards had to die for that piece of clothing?
Are you trying to say that I'm a big girl?
No,
that's what it sounds like.
No. I just that's a tight pattern of leopardness.
Hey,
It's
Where'd
okay.
you get that
Go
from? The Howard Beach Housewives collection? How did that come about?
Is it easy being cheesy?
Look at that.
Oh, that's a cheetah.
Oh wait, I'm not allowed to actually make a joke on the show before the internet trolls come at me.
Listen, somewhere on Long Island, there's a medium missing a face.
That's true. That's actually pretty funny.
Listen, Jane Fonda has resurfaced after 12 years, and she is unrecognizable.
Is this the thing you sent me?
Now, yeah, so here's the thing.
Terrible.
I can't flash the picture on the screen, but link in the description below if you want to see her. Frank has not seen it at all until this moment. He's going to look right now at Jane Fonda. 12 years of not... I'm sorry, not Jane Fonda. Hold on. I screwed up. It's Bridget Fonda. Let me fix the thing here.
No.
And I'm wearing this because I'm actually cold. And this is the first thing that I pulled out of my closet. And yes, I love leopard print.
I thought you were wearing it for R.I.P. Bridget Fonda.
Oh my goodness!
That's how many cheetahs did they have to skin?
No, nobody shaming. She just doesn't look like she used to. I'll tell you that much.
She went from a hot actress to a school mom.
Single white female.
Now that's shaming. What's a school mom?
I don't want to shame and make her feel bad, but this is like...
You look how you look, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Wait.
All I'm saying is she just does not look like Jane Fonda, Bridget Fonda anymore.
Yeah.
What's a school mom?
School marm.
Oh.
Not a school mom.
I was like, school mom. Okay.
Yeah, she just doesn't look like she used to. I mean, hey, she looks like how she's going to look, and that's okay. She just looks very, very different. Yeah, I'm showing my wife, Bridget Fonda. She disappeared for like 12 years, and that's how she looks now on the right.
She said that's not her.
That's not her.
That's what I said too. Is it possible that the paparazzi, because this is a Page 6 story,
maybe the paparazzi
just got it wrong? I feel like that's entirely possible because this looks nothing like. It looks unrecognizable.
I mean, the only thing I could think of.
Can I just say this before you say that? You know how on the bottom of websites there's those things of like you'll never guess what they look like now,
right?
And 99 times out of 100, it's all total bullshit.
That's what I was going to say.
This
it could
is
be
the one time that it is not. That it really is unbelievable at how much she has changed over a 12-year time period.
Yeah, it's a dramatic change, and hey, it's how she's comfortable, that's how she's comfortable. No shame in that game. It just doesn't look like her anymore. That's all. It's just very different.
I don't think she's comfortable with this, to be honest with you. I think that's why. By the way, it's not like she just popped up and went to an award show or something. Like these are paparazzi shots. So
she's not in the spotlight. She's not.
I don't think she wants to be in the spotlight.
Exactly. So this is not a. This is just she looks different. That's all.
She looks horrible. You can say it. She looks horrible.
Yeah.
Say she looks horrible. You look horrible.
She does
do.
not look good. She doesn't look like what she used to look like.
No, exactly. She does not look like what she used to look like. Totally.
Getting old is a bitch. Like,
And she's not that old. 58, I think. In that shot.
I can't believe she's 58 though. Like, I don't know. For
It's
some
not
reason, I thought she's younger.
Well, and everything we've seen her in, the last thing she was in was how long ago? A decade ago or so.
yeah. Oh, and that's the thing too. She looks exactly the same from the time that she started in, like, I don't know, the 80s to the last thing we saw her in. She basically aged 4 days.
Right.
And then
I don't even know how they, to be honest, I didn't even know how they knew it was her to take the picture.
that's what I'm saying. How is that even possible?
How did they go, oh, that's Bridget Fonda right there?
I think they tracked her through the vaccine.
That's possible.
That's what it was. She showed up on the vaccine GPS.
That's what happens.
Sounds more
But
than likely.
Yeah. So the big thing here is that she just out of nowhere just does not look different. Does not look like Bridget Fonda. You wouldn't recognize her as Bridget Fonda if you saw this picture. Link below. That's all.
Yeah, everybody take a look at it. It's unbelievable. Can you guess what my two favorite Bridget Fonda movies are? Where she's so hot in both of them.
Single white female.
Nope.
You're crazy. Which ones? You tell me.
Maybe one of the greatest movies of all time that is so underrated actually has your boy in it. Do you remember? It's got your guy, your favorite actor.
Oh, was it not Leaving Las Vegas? What the hell is it called?
Name your guy, and I'll tell you the name.
Nick Cage.
It Could Happen to You,
It Could Happen to You.
which was also one of Stanley Tucci's earliest roles. He plays Bridget Fonda's husband in that one. Great movie. And also Doc Hollywood with Michael J. Fox.
I never saw Doc Hollywood.
What?
I know.
Oh my God.
Isn't that weird?
As far as cheesy, shitty 90s movies, it was one of the greatest. Also in Godfather. Remember, she was in Godfather 3.
Ah, 3, yeah. Yep.
Don't act like it doesn't count. That was very offensive.
You said in Godfather. I was
That
thinking
was
of Godfather.
offensive.
You're offensive.
Governor Hochul extends the mask mandate to December. To February 10th. It started in December.
Oh, all right. February 10th is only a dozen days away.
Are you surprised?
Am I surprised?
Yeah.
I had no one way or the other. No. It's only it doesn't seem like a big thing to me because it's only like 10 or 12 days or whatever it is now.
Well, now, but on February 10th, she's gonna extend it by 6 hours, and then she's gonna extend it by
That would be surprising.
20 minutes.
That would surprise me.
It's gonna be up to the moment updates on the fucking mask mandate. I was out and about around town today here in lovely Suffolk County.
Wait, you were out and about?
I was out and about
All right.
on the doorstep of the Hamptons, and nobody is wearing masks anymore. I went to a pizza place, no masks. I went to a hardware store, no masks. I went to CVS, everybody was wearing a mask. Which makes me think that my prediction is going to come true, that we're going to lose masks from here on out, but you're still going to see people walking into Walgreens and CVS is wearing fucking
That's because, those are testing places too, right? You go there to get tested.
Yeah, I guess so.
So,
Not all of them have that though.
Well, not all of them, no. But if people are walking into that place, if someone's going in there to get tested, they're thinking they might have it. So you would probably want to be the one place you'd want to wear a mask is that place, I think. Is anywhere where people might have it.
It feels weird that people are just doing it for show now. I mean, I know. Also, let me address this too. I feel I'm being labeled as an anti-masker, anti-vaxxer for some reason. Oh, Janine, you have no idea.
Where?
You have no idea. First of all, my family is talking to me like I'm fucking Donald Trump.
You got the vaccine.
I know, and I've been catching a bit of flack on the comments too. People are like,
"No, I haven't seen that," and I religiously look at them.
I just think that obviously we know where Frank's stance is, and I feel like if you're not where Frank is, there's no gray. It feels like there's no gradient. There's no degrees of this.
Well, how could to go on that note, I feel like you're either for it or against it. What's the degree? Why would there be a like I'm half for it? I don't get why there would be a
I just
middle ground.
feel like where I am, again, and I said, hey, maybe it's time we switch off of Fauci, just because I just feel like, and I hate to keep using a sports analogy here, but I feel like we're a sports team that had a game plan, and it's the third quarter, and we haven't changed anything, and we're losing 60-0. And it's like we're just like, oh, if we just
So
stick
then
with
football.
it, yeah, we're like, oh, we just stick with it, we'll get there. I just would like to see some change ups, and I feel like people feel like that is an anti-vax stance, and I've been accused of that several times.
You mean if you're looking for change, that's an anti-vax stance?
Well, change in what? You're looking for change in the packaging, not change in the procedure. You're looking for a PR change.
I guess a little bit, but here's the thing: like, I feel like some people are still caught in April of 2020.
Oh, yeah.
and some people, and like, okay, I literally, like, I was just I walk into a pizza place. There's nobody. There's like 40 people in there. Nobody's wearing it. Nobody's concerned. Nobody's worried. Nobody's saying, hey, why isn't anybody wearing masks? Or where's your mask? Nothing. I watched the Islander game last night. I couldn't see now, I just bought tickets. The reason why I bring this up is I just bought tickets. We had tickets to a game. It got rescheduled. We couldn't make the rescheduled date. So we had to switch the things around. And you go through 19 steps of, we have new COVID rules. Hit this to accept the COVID rules. Make sure that you agree to the COVID rules. And I'm clicking all these things and making sure we're doing it. And I think we have to go get a test.
Well,
I was going to ask what that for the
for that arena.
Yeah, I don't even know, because true to everything else, when you accept those little things, you don't really read them. If they're longer than a line and a half, you're like, fuck,
Yeah, but you have to.
whatever.
You probably at the door will have to prove your vaccination
Might have to.
status.
Yeah, might have to. But I'm pretty sure that the rules are you have to wear a mask at these events. And when you look in the stands, there is not a person in an 18,000 seat arena wearing a fucking mask.
Are all
Is
the seats
everybody
filled?
having a beverage at the same time?
All the seats are filled.
That's hurtful. As a if you weren't a Rangers fan, that's hurtful. Of course,
Well,
all
it's
the
the
seats are
Islanders.
filled.
They're not going to fill all the seats.
Go fuck yourself. But yes, most of enough seats are filled.
the thing is too.
It
Go
feels
ahead.
weird. It just feels like there's a vanity set of rules, and then there's what's actually happening in the world.
Well, I think that the people who work at these places don't feel like it's their job to harass people, nor do they want to. It's just like, do they really feel like fighting with people who are going to cause something?
This goes back to the
right. That's I was just going to say, that righty thing. It's like, do people don't get paid enough to deal with this shit?
Yeah.
And do you blame them? No.
To a degree, I think there's a large scale of, I'm too, like, especially after the 2 years that everybody's been through, they're just kind of like, whatever.
If I ran a business, now there's a place in my neighborhood. You walk in, it's like a coffee place. It's not a chain or anything. You walk in and they have a box. They have a sign outside. You have to wear a mask in here. And then when you walk in, there's a box of masks that you could just take one if you need it. And so that's not like they're, if they ask you to do it before you walk in, and they provide you with the mask. That would be a good, if you're a business that wants people to wear masks when you walk in, or you have to if it's mandated or whatever it is. That would be a good idea. Just provide them at the door so the people aren't like always, before you walk in, here you go. And there's no excuse that you don't have one on you or whatever it is. Here you go. I don't think
Unfortunately,
that's the issue.
people are just going to say no. And who's giving out? Like, is the person coming in taking their own mask, or is there someone at the door giving you the mask with gloves on their hands? So the person who's taking the mask doesn't have anything, germs on their hands to spread.
It was weird because I went right before Christmas. We took a little trip. We had the wedding I went to. We went to Princeton, New Jersey, and we went like they had this beautiful Christmas tree and nice little square and whatever. And we went to the toy store. The kids wanted to go and they have like a little like a local toy store, super nice. You had to go in, you had to wear a mask to go in there, and they gave out masks, and like everybody was wearing them. It was like, I don't know, it's just strange how there's both extremes happening at the same time.
It also depends on where you are. I mean, Nassau County, Suffolk County, this is the counties on Long Island. There's the mandate, but then there's the local level where people are like, nah, we're not going to do the mandate. And then you go down even smaller to the local places where the places are like, we don't care. Depends on how low you get in the hierarchy. Like if you go to a government building, you're going to have to wear a mask. But if you go to a small local place that decides on their own, maybe they don't care.
I know, it's just weird because it's like there's this whole big press conference. She's like, we're almost there. We're gonna be safe, and it's like, wow, is it? Because if you walk out there, people are acting like it's not. I don't know. It just feels like a little detached from reality. Speaking of which, I got to talk about this too. If you guys want to chime in, you can. But I read this story and I was blown away. There's a man that's waiting for a heart transplant. He's on the list to get a heart transplant. He refuses to get vaccinated. They took him off the list for a heart transplant.
That's not.
Now, I know people have their sides to this, but I think this is the culmination of the saddest part of this whole fucking thing, of where you have somebody where you can save this man's life and you're not, because he's not vaccinated. And at the same time, you can have your life saved and you're not, because you refuse to get a shot. Like, I think this is
it's a weird situation, but yeah, it depends. Like if you're on a heart transplant,
let me just finish my thing. I think this is a
obviously.
loss on both sides. I think this looks bad for both sides of this.
Yeah. Well,
and I think it's tragic overall for humanity to see a man who needs a fucking heart can't get it, both out of his stubbornness and this insanity of
why would that dictate
taking him off a list to get a heart because he's not vaccinated. That's crazy.
That is very strange. I'd love to hear what they said about it. Like, is there anything about what their whatever reasoning they came up with is?
Right.
I don't know, but you talk about vulnerabilities. Like, sounds like if you need a heart transplant, you might be vulnerable to COVID. You know what I mean?
Which would drive you to get the shot.
Yeah.
But.
And then on the other hand, you have people responsible for saving lives going, you're no longer worthy. You were at the top of the list for a transplant and you're no longer worthy.
Right.
What?
I don't know. It's very strange. Oops. Yeah, it doesn't. I'd love to hear what the rationale. I don't know what the technicalities are for getting a heart and what needs to happen, what doesn't. I don't know what their reasoning would be. Like, what did they say? Anything? Like,
yeah, because he wasn't vaccinated. That was
I get that, but why does that take him off the list? Is my question.
So they wound up giving this guy on Tuesday. They gave him a mechanical heart pump, which will keep him alive for up to 5 years, according to ABC.
Now, what if the rules change and you don't have to be vaccinated to get a heart transplant or whatever the rule? Is that a rule where it is? I mean,
that's the question. Why would they take him off because of that? I mean, he's on the list. He's doing. I mean, is there something when he entered the list that said that he has to abide by all? Maybe he's refusing. Maybe his doctor probably could have said, "Hey, you need to get the vaccine, or we're taking you off." Like, that's part of your diagnosis is, in order to get this, you have to do these steps, and one of the steps is that.
I don't know what his doctor said, but he is saying that he's not an anti-vaxxer. He has all his other vaccines. He's just concerned with uh, what the vaccine can do to him because of his cardiac crisis.
And that's a valid reason.
Sure. Now, his
especially when
doctors-
this has been linked to myocarditis and everything. But at the same time, I have to say, COVID itself is linked to myocarditis.
Right. Now, his doctors would be the ones to tell him, like if he obviously has a heart condition that he needs a new heart, his doctors would be the ones to tell him, listen, getting the vaccine is a necessary step or it isn't. You know, I feel like the doctor's advice, if he's going against medical advice, you know what I mean? Like if someone needs a new liver, and the doctors say you can't drink anymore, and the guy's like, no, I don't care, I'm still on the list for the liver, right? And he keeps drinking, they might take him off the list. So with this, I don't know what the correlation is, like with if you have to get it or not, but if he's denying the steps that he has to take, if he's refusing to take steps that are necessary in order for him to get a heart, is that grounds to kick him, off the list?
I don't know. According to his family, he was first on the list for the transplant. The hospital is denying that he was that high, saying that there's levels of priority for allocation of organs. So I don't really know what to think as far as that goes, but it feels like this is one of the low points in this whole thing.
The thing is, I mean, for example, I have 2 people in my family, both diagnosed with cancer. One doctor told my uncle, do not get the vaccine. You're not getting it now. And then the other person, the doctor didn't force it, but he said, do you have the vaccine? Okay, great, you have it. If you didn't have it, we would have to talk further about it. So there's so many levels and there's so many things to consider with medical things. It's not just one all end all. And there's so many things, and every person is so different. So that's the biggest issue, I think.
Now, let me ask you a question, Janine. Before today, do you think that the leopard you were wearing was vaccinated? Because I'd like to think that he was.
Bye. I'm taking it off in a minute.
I can't even hear anything you're saying. All I see is a beautiful leopard running through the jungle.
Now, did they ask you if you were vaccinated before you accepted a skin donation?
Yes, and I lied.
Okay.
All right, how about let's talk about douchebag Sarah Palin. She legit went out to eat at a restaurant in New York City.
After a day or two after testing positive?
For COVID, after she's in a lawsuit with the Times, by the way, made news that the lawsuit with the Times was delayed because she had COVID, and she fucking went out and ate at a restaurant. Now,
when was it reported that she had COVID? Like, how many days out was she?
Like 3.
3. Okay.
She was in that, I think, in that prime contagious 3 to 5 time period. And she went to an Upper East Side restaurant. Now, they say she dined outdoors.
Yeah.
But she was in one of those.
You're supposed to quarantine.
Yeah, she was in one of those. We're outdoors, but we're inside the fucking whole thing.
Yeah, so you're not outdoors
with people. She was with people, and there was people around, and they fucking sat her down.
I mean, I personally don't go out if I'm sick, because I'm sick and I don't. Maybe she didn't have any symptoms, but if you think this is stupid, then you got to think if you're a nurse and you test positive for COVID and they tell you to go back to work, that's dumb too. That is dumb too.
Why are they doing that?
What? Where have you been the last couple of weeks?
If a nurse tests positive for COVID, they're
Correct.
telling her even if she's positive, don't quarantine, come right back to work.
Yep.
I didn't hear any of this.
I didn't hear that either.
You both of you haven't?
No.
No.
Wait, are you kidding me right now?
Where did you hear this?
All right, I'm going to send you something that it's been all over
Tell-
the news.
I don't know. Tell me, was it one place or is
It
that like a
was-
common thing?
Did you get it
It-
from Tucker Carlson?
It was in December, where they were saying healthcare professionals, if they, including nurses, but mostly nurses, were saying that if they tested positive for COVID, they could come back to work. Meaning, like, if they had no symptoms, they could still go to work, even if they were positive.
New CDC guidance allows COVID positive healthcare workers to return to work sooner. This is after 5 days, but there's also an article here that says COVID positive nurses say they're being pressured to work.
Correct. And I actually know someone personally who had COVID and was still told, if you don't have symptoms, you could come back to work. You could still work.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, was this during the time when they shortened it from 10 to 5 days? Because that's bullshit too.
I don't know if it was right before then. It was around the same time though.
Yeah, that doesn't make
So
sense.
that's why it's dumb. That's why
what's dumb?
everything is dumb.
Everything's dumb.
Everything is just dumb. The rules are just dumb because they change
Yeah, but-
continuously.
As three intelligent people, we have common sense to know
Wow.
that if you,
Two, Frank. It's okay. You can say two.
I said three.
I was going to
Why-
say there's
what's
one
wrong
and a
with that?
quarter between the three of us.
What all of a sudden? I say one thing that doesn't insult anybody in any way, and I get jumped on immediately. I said with three intelligent people, and you go, "Oh, you can call me." I'm like,
You
Barely.
can say two.
You can say two. You know, you call me an idiot. It's like, what? I said
Oh,
three.
I was talking about Anthony.
No, you weren't.
I was
LOL.
I was trying to take us all down a peg where we rightfully belong, where we deserve to be.
As semi-intelligent people, the three of us, we're able to realize that going to work when testing positive for COVID is not the right thing to do. So we know that rule is. It's not even a
I
rule.
know.
It's their
Common
bosses
sense.
pushing them. Right. It's their bosses being stupid.
Which is insane to me because, again, I feel like I had a different form of COVID, but like I would be like, oh, I'm feeling okay. I'm going to go on the computer and get some work done. And then 45 minutes later, I would be snoring into my keyboard.
Yeah. You don't.
Well,
I mean,
the thing was, because there were so many people out with COVID.
They were short staffed.
I
They
mean,
were
with
screwed.
healthcare workers, they needed everybody they could get. So they were saying, if you don't have any symptoms, come to work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you hear this, a lot of people take it as, I'll do that too. If I'm not sick, then I don't need to quarantine, or I can be around people or eat outside. Eat outside. That's inside. That's outside.
Can we talk about something? Yeah, I know. Which is, but this makes me want to push Sarah Palin into a puddle. But the other thing that angered me a lot, I was on TikTok. First of all, I hate when any of the TikTok to me is supposed to be fun. TikTok is dancing and jokes and bits, and stop bringing serious things into TikTok. That's not what it's fucking for. Like, I wish people would stop doing this. They've never come up on my For You page before, but New York Times Cooking came up on my For You page. And I guess the reporter's name is Priya. She does this whole report, like serious report on this story, which I don't want on my TikTok. And then she was like, we called the restaurant and asked for an answer as to why they allowed this to happen. And then we called the mayor's office to see if there would be a fine levied against them. And then we called this one and that one. And it's just like, yes, I'm angry at Sarah Palin. Yes, she's a douchebag. Yes, she deserves to be splashed by a bus a la Sex and the City opening. But, like, you're talking about a business that has suffered enough over the last year and a half. You want them to now be fucking fined? Like, I think my point is, I think the embarrassment of the story is enough to hurt the business.
And not for nothing, they're not asking for proof of a negative test. All they're asking for is vaccine status, which you could still get COVID, obviously, when you have the vaccine. So, like, that obviously doesn't work. because how many people are really going to be true to their word or not know if they even have COVID? So,
Be
Yeah,
that
but
as
if
it may,
everybody in the room is vaccinated, then getting it is not a huge deal.
be that as
What-
it may, be
Normal.
that as it may, I still feel like we don't need the fucking hall monitor to be on TikTok going, we
Right.
called the mayor's office to see if they would. And, you know, and again, this goes back to my, is this all just kind of bullshit thing where it's like the response from the government was, well, we didn't catch them in the act, so we can't levy a fine against them.
Oh, and also on the CDC website, it says healthcare workers with COVID-19 who are asymptomatic can return to work after 7 days with a negative test. And that isolation time can be cut further if there are staffing shortages.
right, which there was. So it was either
So if they're asymptomatic, we're assuming, because they have to be vaccinated and boosted. You have to be if you're a healthcare worker now. So not only vaccinated, you're boosted, and if you're asymptomatic, and it can be cut further. So your effects are not as great, and your spreading it is not as great because you're vaccinated and boosted.
that's not true though. That's not
It
true.
is true.
It
Yeah,
is
but
not true.
Isn't it a risk though to put them into a room, even masked and shielded
Right.
and all that
Because
stuff? with
guess what?
somebody
vax-
who's immunocompromised.
Vaccinated can give it to vaccinated and still have the same amount of sickness.
Wait, vaccinated? Say it again.
If you're vaccinated and you give it to someone who's vaccinated, you can still have the same amount, a level of sickness as an unvaccinated person giving it to an unvaccinated person. That has been proven.
The chances of that are minuscule. If you're vaccinated and you give it to a vaccinated person, the effects are way lower than.
That's not true.
It is
That's not
absolutely
true.
true.
That's not true.
Vaccines help
Fam,
your
did
immune
your wife
system.
get it from school?
My wife had to get it. I mean, I don't. We weren't around anybody else other than her at her job.
Yeah, and you guys
Do
were
you-
vaccinated.
But the thing is, someone who gave it to her, they didn't have to be vaccinated because
don't
you
know
don't
if
have
they
to
were.
be vaccinated in the school. She most likely got it from a kid who's not vaccinated.
How do you know that?
I hope
Because
so.
she
I
told
hope
me
it wasn't
this.
the security guard that keeps asking
Because
her
she
for
told me
soup.
this.
She told you she got. She doesn't know who she got it from.
That's
You
what
know-
she said. She said that's probably who she got it from.
Probably.
I had such a good line, and you people were worried about saying.
I'm sorry, but
factual
it's just not true though, because
What are
I've
you
seen it.
talking
It's
about?
seen it all around me from people who got COVID recently,
So
who
what?
were
What have
all
you seen?
vaccinated, who were all vaccinated,
What
who
have you
all got
seen?
it.
Well,
who
let me
all
let
got
me
it from
back up Janine
vaccinated
here.
people.
You
Let me
can
back-
still get it.
Hold on. Let me back up Janine here. Her father got it from her mother just
No.
days after I slept with her mother. So this seems to all check out.
The bottom line is, if you're vaccinated, the effects of COVID are not as severe than if you're unvaccinated.
That's not true.
That is 100% true.
That's not true.
It
Because it
absolutely
varies.
is.
It varies from person to person.
The risks are way lower. If you are vaccinated, it's not going to
I
put
think
you in
you're
the
actually
hospital
both
for the
right.
most time.
I think you're both right.
99% of the time, whatever
It
the thing is.
depends. It depends, like I said, from person to person. If you have other underlying conditions, that's a big thing.
Of course it is. But if you're vaccinated, your chances of getting severely sick are lower.
Okay. But
That's not
here's the
true?
thing, though. They haven't been able to, like, definitely prove that from person to person.
I mean, from
Like-
person to person, we're going by, we can't, there's 6 billion people, 7 billion people in the world. We can't have every person. They're going by the numbers. And it's like 99% of people, or 98 or 7 or something, who are in the hospital with COVID are unvaccinated. That's a fact.
Okay.
That's not a fact.
Well, I know that was true at one point, I believe, before. I think Omicron really changed the
Okay, so let's see.
makeup of all of this. I think a majority of people that were in the hospital were still unvaccinated, but I think it is true because I am vaccinated. If people want to say it saved me from going to the hospital, fine, I'll take that. But I also think I got it worse than some other people who were also vaccinated.
Two
So it
friends of
definitely
mine got
varies
it.
from people to people.
It definitely varies. two friends of mine who are not vaccinated got it from unvaccinated people, and they said it felt like a quick head cold.
Yeah.
Right.
It
And that's
was-
the other thing. Unvaccinated people are getting it way less than I had it. So
That's
Right.
fine. I'm not saying that
But
unvaccinated.
you just said if you're unvaccinated, then you're going to get it worse from an unvaccinated person than you would
That's
from a
not what I
vaccinated
said.
person.
That's absolutely not what I said. What I said was if you're vaccinated, the chances of you getting really sick are lower.
If you're
That's what I said. If you're vaccinated, if you have the vaccine and you get COVID, the chances of you getting really sick are lowered because you have the vaccine.
Okay, here's
That's what I'm
here's
saying.
my question. If you're unvaccinated and you
Mhm.
have no underlying conditions
Yeah,
versus
you
a
can get out of it
person
quick. It could be
versus a
nothing.
person who's vaccinated and has 4 underlying conditions, who's going to get it worse? We don't know. That's the whole thing. That's the
Right,
whole
but
thing.
if I have 4 underlying conditions, I'd rather be vaccinated fighting this
Sure.
thing than unvaccinated.
I never said you shouldn't, not you, but I
That's
know
what I'm
who you
saying.
mean. But the thing
point
is,
you're better off with the vaccine in both cases.
okay.
No, the answer.
No.
You know, you could answer. back.
We're not going to agree on this, but I don't think just because she went to a place where she's like you have to be vaccinated, and honestly there's people who are probably not vaccinated there because they have fake cards. Let's be honest, it happens all over, more than you think.
which I don't agree with,
I
but
don't
if you
know
want
if-
to order one, link in the description below.
Right.
Hit me up.
We don't know. I don't know what the
Jay
numbers are
Sabs.
on that. I don't know how many fake cards there are out there and who's doing it and how many people have them.
No, you know.
I know.
You know how
Okay.
many.
It could be a lot. It could be not that many. I don't know what the number is on that. But all I'm saying is if I'm going to get COVID, no matter what underlying conditions I have or not, I'd rather be vaccinated than not, no matter what my situation, no matter what my health situation is. Vaccinated is a better chance of getting out of it unscathed. than
That's your
unscathed.
opinion, and that's
It's
fine.
a fact.
It's not though.
It's what the vaccine does. It boosts your immune system so you can fight this thing.
Okay.
It doesn't do that.
I'm not saying
You
that,
can't say it
but I'm
doesn't.
saying that it varies from person to person, because you don't know if I had COVID and I got it very mild and then I got the vaccine and I had it horrible. How would you can't actually prove it. That's the whole thing, because it varies so much from person to person.
Is it 100% exactly? No, but it's 97, 98% that if you're in the hospital and you have COVID, the 98% of the people are unvaccinated. If you're in the hospital with COVID, there's only like 2 or 3% that are there with COVID that have the vaccine.
Right,
So-
but supposedly they are doing an investigation of how many people actually just died from COVID alone, not along with other things. So we'll see when that
Well,
comes
the
out.
other things contribute. It's all a part of it. It's all, you have underlying thing. Everybody has, a lot of people have something else. But the fact is that plus COVID, the vaccine helps you.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like if someone went in and got into a car accident and didn't know they had COVID, they're saying they died from COVID. They're not saying they died from the car accident.
Wait,
or
hold
the
on.
coma that they were in.
Hold on. Is Sarah Palin in the car with them or not? I'm just trying to.
Well, I'm just saying that maybe she thought these rules applied to her because they change these things so often that she thought, you know what? Maybe I'm like a healthcare worker, and since I don't have any symptoms, I'm good to go because I'm vaccinated.
Yeah. Okay,
Wait, who's
Right.
she? Who are you talking about?
Sarah Palin.
Oh.
I'm not saying she's right. I'm saying this is maybe her thinking and probably a lot of people's thinkings.
Maybe
Because
a
it's
lot of
like-
people, but not her. She's a moron.
But I'm saying this is maybe what she actually thought. Like, oh, I have COVID. I don't have any symptoms, so I'm okay. Personally, I do not go out if I don't feel good because I don't feel good.
Forget don't feel good. If you got a positive COVID test, would you go out?
No.
Exactly.
No, but I think Janine's point is then why would you go back to work and help sick people when you're
Because
Right.
because what's it called? Sarah Palin is not vaccinated. She does not have the vaccine. Plus,
So then
has
how was
COVID.
she allowed in the wait, was it was New York City, right?
yes.
'Cause
Then
she's
how is
Sarah
she
Palin.
allowed in here?
Because she's Sarah Palin. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, because
Oh, I know why, because she
I
was
think
outside. So the rules don't apply then.
The rules should apply.
If you
I'm
eat
not defending that
outside-
restaurant.
It's indoor. It's for rules are for indoor. Janine's correct. Yeah.
Right.
I'm
So
not
it's,
defending the restaurant. I'm defending that if people followed the rules, then we would probably not have. This would end a lot shorter than it is. That's my point. It's frustrating.
also, you still have to wear a mask when you walk around
Sure. In
to
a
your
restaurant,
when you sit. Right. So I guess she thought, I'm sitting down, I'm not near anyone, so I'm fine. Because everyone else is wearing a mask walking around.
she's
Yeah,
unvaccinated.
I mean, I get it, but I still feel like it's a ballsy move, especially
Well, it
like
is, 'cause
like
if
I
you
I
tell
don't
people-
get it. No, I don't get it because she has COVID.
I get it if you're like Jim Smith, the accountant, who's like, I'm gonna give this a try. You're fucking set. You're on the front page of every newspaper for having your trial pushed back because you're COVID positive. You fucking showing up at a restaurant.
Well, that's dumb. That's a dumb move.
It seems crazy to me.
It's also.
But I'm saying this is probably her thinking, because this is a lot of people's thinking now once these new rules arise. It's like, oh, well, if I'm not going to be around a lot of people and these healthcare workers can be around hundreds of people a day or whatever it is, then I'm fine.
But she's not vaccinated, so her strand of COVID is potentially worse.
No, that
Her
still
immune system is
not
not going to fight it as much.
okay. So you're saying that if she got COVID, her brand of her strain,
Her
whatever,
body has not. It doesn't have the amount and the harshness of COVID that it would have if her immune system wasn't fighting it as strongly as it would had she been vaccinated.
but why does that affect you?
Because she wouldn't pass on the worst COVID she
See,
could.
but that's where you're wrong, Frank, because it doesn't
okay.
matter. It doesn't matter, though. It does not matter.
But if everybody in the scenario is vaccinated, then it doesn't. Then it wouldn't matter. But then you have all these other random
Because
people
you're
who
saying
aren't.
the strain. You're saying the strain. It doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not. You can carry the same strain from one person to the next.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
whether
strain.
it be bad or bad,
not saying
bad or
strain.
good.
I'm saying
Less.
what's the word? It's not strain. Like the potency of it. Like if you have, if your body has on a scale of 1 to 10 has a 9 level of COVID, then, and if you're vaccinated, that 9 could be brought down to like a 4. And if you're passing on a 4 instead of a 9,
But that's not how it works.
that is how it works.
That isn't, though. That isn't, because
They're not using 4s and 9s and numbers like that, but there's levels of severity.
I know what you mean.
There's levels of severity of it.
I know, but the thing is, it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not. The severity can be the same from an unvaccinated person to a vaccinated person. You're saying that if someone
But
who
the
catches
chances
it,
of that are less if you're vaccinated.
okay, you're not gonna agree with me on this because you think that you're 100% right and I'm misinformed. I'm telling you, this is how it is. I've seen it with my own eyes in the last couple of weeks. It doesn't
What did
matter.
you see? Tell me what you see.
I've seen people who are vaccinated get it worse than people who are not vaccinated. From people who have gotten it from who are vaccinated versus people who are gotten it from who are not vaccinated.
You ever get that feeling like people are talking about you when you're in the room?
Yeah.
All right, we have to move on.
I can't
Really.
really.
We gotta move on.
It just feels like to me that it would be, I don't mean this as an insult. It would be common sense to, if you get a disease, a vaccine helps you against that disease.
Yeah, but it's your own body processing it. Your
Plus
own body
a vaccine.
No, because your body isn't saying, okay, I have the vaccine, so now I'm going to pass it on to someone and it's going to be less. That's what scientists have been saying, that it's not less. It's not. It's the same. It's the same amount.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know the answer to this, so I think we should take a study break, and then we'll come back to this very point and find out who's right, Leopard Lady or Snowman. More
I
importantly,
want to have to do this.
the
Didn't want to
State of the state was given by the West Virginia governor.
I saw this. Oh my God.
Oh, we're losing the leopard? Oh, this is heartbreaking. This is a heartbreaking moment. And as you can see on the screen here, he had his dog appear at the State of the State, and he literally flashed his dog's asshole out to the whole entire crowd. By the way, this is the governor's equivalent to the State of the Union, the State of the State. It's a very serious thing. And he flashed his dog's asshole and told Bette Midler to kiss his dog's ass.
I swear to God, I thought this was a joke. I thought it was a joke.
I don't know what we're doing anymore. I just don't know what the hell we're doing.
First of all, you could bring your dog into this.
I don't know.
As long as it's a political prop, you can bring whatever you want.
Or is it just your dog's asshole?
Look at that asshole. That's a huge, cavernous asshole.
I think that's the tail covering the asshole.
I don't know. This was in response to, because Bette Midler tweeted that the entire state of West Virginia was backwards because Senator Joe Manchin refused to support the Build Back Better Act. And I think she called them illiterate and, let's see if I could find her tweet here.
Misinformed.
What?
Misinformed.
Misinformed.
I forget what she said exactly, but she definitely called them backwards. And basically
my sweater, thanks.
This guy went on and on and on for hours given the state of the state, and then he pulled his dog up and he goes, Bette Midler can kiss my dog's ass.
The weirdest statement probably ever.
I would say so.
It's like way to call out Bette Midler. Everybody's like, okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Wait, what time is it?
This doesn't change the fact that Senator Joe Manchin sucks balls. I still don't care for him. Yeah, I don't even know what to think of this other than here's it. Although I will say this, see that young lady behind him to his left,
hysterical.
Or right? Yeah, that's the what do they call that? For the deaf people, sign language person. She's enjoying the shit out of this moment. I mean, she could not be happier. Look at the laugh on her face.
How do you think that's going to sign?
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
I forgot got the sign language sign for dog, but
I bet you she didn't think that when she left the house, she didn't think that she was going to be signing "Kiss My Dog's Asshole" when she left that house that morning. But so there you go. I don't know. This is a developing story, by the way, everybody. We don't know if Bette Midler is going to flash her dog's asshole back at him. We have to stay tuned. So come back to the next episode to find out what happened.
Does she want to stoop that low? I mean, I don't know.
I think maybe. What if it was like a different animal? Like what if she got like a Mormon or something like that and flashed his asshole around? We'll have to see. I don't know. Again, like I said,
developing
story.
Yeah,
developing story. Speaking of which, so they did pass some sort of an infrastructure bill. It wasn't the Build Back Better thing. And President Biden was scheduled to go into Pittsburgh this morning to talk about how we need better infrastructure. And a fucking bridge in Pittsburgh collapsed hours before he was supposed to get there. That's
what
crazy.
What are the chances?
Honestly.
So people were popping up conspiracy theories, and in our show rundown, in our pre-tease, Frank flashed the same conspiracy theory.
Oh, that seems like a setup to me.
What's that?
That it was a setup.
That it collapsed.
I quickly thought that this morning. I was like, yeah, you think they did that on purpose or nah?
Okay, see? And I had the thought too, which is, what does that say about us now as a society? That we're like, oh, they're probably blowing up bridges to make their whole bill like work and
right.
What is wrong with us?
I don't know. We're dumb.
We're running
I think
amok.
as a society, we don't know what we're doing.
Don't you think we need a reset? Remember how we stayed home for a month to stop the curve? I think we need a year off. Just everybody stops for a year.
There was a great meme. I think the world needs to unplug and plug itself back in.
Yeah.
Like an IT thing. Just reset.
What do you think about that? Let's all take a breathe. We can't though. That's the problem. We need food and electricity, and somebody's got to be there to
gossip.
Run some shit. Yeah, exactly. Who's going to take pictures of Bridget Fonda if we all take time off?
Exactly. What would we talk about?
Exactly. Speaking of which, the Bidens, this presidency has fallen apart completely. I mean,
Because he got a cat.
it is just awful. Yes, because he got a cat. Now, we all know that he's got the terrible low numbers. Even somebody sent me a clip. CNN is fucking turning on him. There was a clip on CNN of people talking about how shitty the Biden administration is, talking about how poorly it's going with COVID, and how they haven't come up with anything. Be honest. They have not come up with anything new. Again, not even that I'm not saying the vaccine doesn't work. I still believe everybody should be vaccinated, but fucking do something different.
Anti-vaxxer.
Throw something into the mix that appears to be slightly different and a new approach to, let's just continue to get the same old crusty people on TV doing shitty commercials to hammer this thing down people's throats.
Well, the method might not.
Can I just say something?
Okay.
Sorry, but when Obama was pushing his fucking Obamacare, he went to Mark Maron's shitty garage and did a podcast for several reasons. One, that's where a lot of the attention was and still is. And two, that became a story unto itself, which furthered his agenda of the new healthcare bill.
So what would you suggest?
I mean, it didn't work, but it didn't really work. But
I think it. Well,
unfortunately,
you could say what you want about Obamacare. I think it worked. He got more press out of that. Fucking.
Oh well, yeah, that part at least.
He did some shit. They changed it up. This administration right now is not doing well, and the leftovers from the Trump administration, I think, are just tired and burnt out. That's just my opinion. But anyway, everybody agrees that this administration, the numbers are tanking. You need something to just kind of spice it up. This is usually around the time where a president will bomb some random place on the other side of the world just to kind of make us feel better.
Miny, mo.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And they've all gone to that playbook. Every one of the last presidents has bombed somewhere to kind of like
about my Georgie.
Turn them numbers around a little. Well,
your Georgie.
His was the worst.
Yikes.
His was the worst out of the lot of them. But anyway, you got to do something. And, in TV sitcoms, they adopt a dog, which is not a bad move because I've seen presidents do that too. These fucking nincompoops went and adopted a cat. They even fucked up the easiest thing in the world to do, which is adopt a cute dog to distract everybody.
They adopted a dog.
Like
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but he was horrible, right? He kept biting
that
people.
one they
gave that one away.
But they got another
that's
one.
That's a shitty move now.
I heard they strap bombs to that one and let him loose in Pittsburgh.
Okay,
that's just just what I'm hearing.
Behind a big structure.
But yeah, they went and adopted a cat and they named it Willow. This fucking thing.
They adopted a dog too. They have a dog.
Anthony, are you anti-pussy?
Well, yes, actually, yes. In every sense.
That's a cute cat.
That's not a cute cat.
Let me look at it.
Cats are awful.
Yeah, did you see me just holding mine? Probably not, because I had my leopard shirt on.
It blended into your sweater.
I'm not even kidding you. It did, probably.
Yeah, Commander is the name of the dog that they have.
Where's the dog then? Flash the dog around.
We saw the dog already.
First cat was trending like crazy.
It's a puppy. Look, this is the dog. That's Commander.
Then get Commander out there. Commander's got to make some more public appearances.
Well, there are cat people who love cats, and this is a step towards them too.
Awful people who love cats.
All right.
Awful. Be honest, Janine. You don't even kind of really like your cat. Doesn't your
Definitely
cat
not.
swat at you and scratch you and shit?
No, he bites me like a dog.
He bites. Yeah. Cats are awful. I'm sorry. You look at every sitcom from fucking Brady Bunch to Married with Children. They all brought in a dog to extend those last couple of years.
Right.
And what do the Bidens do? They bring in a fucking cat.
Plus a dog. They got both.
Idiocy.
You're an idiot.
Mountain Dew's got booze now. Frank's excited about this.
I am excited about it. I want to correct something that I said before, though. Can I do that?
Is this CNN? You going to issue an apology? Retraction?
No, I just, when we were saying you pass a less severe COVID to people, that isn't exactly what I meant. It's. Can I go back for a minute? Is that
It
all
would
right?
have to be your bull.
It's when you're vaccinated. It's when you're going vaccinated to vaccinated. It's less severe. You could still be sick going to an unvaccinated person. That could be severe. From vaccinated to unvaccinated. That's what I meant. Okay?
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Moving on. Mountain Dew has booze.
Now, if I pour booze into your Mountain Dew, is that less severe or is it more severe?
It's more
First of
because you
all-
can't control it.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
By the way, we were worried about COVID killing diabetics. This is what's going to take down most diabetics.
But you know what? They'll put COVID as cause of death.
The Mountain Dew lobby would be, just blame it on COVID still.
COVID.
Remember when they used to say Mountain Dew reduces your sperm count?
Yeah,
That was a thing.
that was a
What's
thing.
the thing? I don't think they disproved that either.
By the way, I've told this story before. I stayed up with my cousins from Pennsylvania once, and I drank an entire bottle of Mountain Dew. And the next day we went to a Yankee game, and we sat in the bleachers, and it was 126 degrees in New York at the Bronx. Like, we were up at the top, just
Humid.
baking in the sun. I did not pee for 24 hours after I drank that Mountain Dew. I drank a
How
whole
does that
bottle.
work? Oh, you sweated it out? Sweated it?
I don't know
Sweated.
if no, I mean, I was sweating, but I should have been peeing. I think all the yellow number 5 just clogged everything up. I didn't pee for 24 hours straight.
Can't be a good sign. I don't think that's healthy.
It was like 4:00 in the afternoon, and I was like, you know what? I haven't peed in a really long time. I'm like, what's going on here?
Oh, God. So what kind of booze is in Mountain Dew now?
I don't know, but I can only assume it's malt liquor. And that's just a guess. I haven't read the article yet, but I'm guessing it's malt liquor. Here's what I didn't know. Mountain Dew, what is this? Bait? What do they call this shit? Baja Blast. Started at Taco Bell.
Yes.
That sounds right.
Yeah. I didn't
Actually, a
know that.
local restaurant here has a Baja Blast, but it's alcoholic.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Mountain Dew either, right?
No, it's
Oh,
They
it's a
kind
Mountain
of-
Dew drink?
I don't know if there's Mountain Dew in it, but they copy some of Taco Bell's restaurant. Taco Bell's
Recipes?
recipes for Taco Tuesday.
I mean,
If anybody copied Taco Bell's menu, just not with the shitty quality food that they
Oh, it's
have,
really good, actually.
it would be a huge success, I would think.
I got to tell you, last couple of times I went to Taco Bell, very satisfied. It's good stuff.
I haven't
have
been
no
there. I
problem.
can't even. It has to
wouldn't
be
say
probably
good.
10 years.
I enjoyed it. I usually get the soft shell tacos or the burritos, and they're good. I don't get the weird, crazy things because I don't know what they're.
What's weird and crazy?
Chalupa.
I don't know the ones that are wrapped in 7 different things, and one's crunchy, one has a Dorito crust. I don't know.
Oh.
I get the regular things because
He's missing out.
Because I don't go to Taco Bell very often, and when I do, I want the usual things.
My wife loves the Dorito shells. I don't. I think it's disgusting.
Are they not good?
But I do love a hard, crunchy shell wrapped in a soft shell. I don't know why I love that so
Yes.
much. Because I like the dual textures, like in my Oreos when I dunk them.
Well,
Facts.
by the way, I want to
yeah.
mention this because I didn't, and I thought it was really funny. I don't know if my husband heard me talking about it or not, but last Friday after we did our little taste test, I come upstairs and he's like, "Can you get me milk?" And I'm like, "Milk? He never drinks milk ever." So I was like, "Okay." And he's on the couch with the sleeve of Oreos, and he starts dunking it in the milk. I'm like, "Did you fucking listen to what I was saying?" And he's like, "No, what?" I'm like, "That's disgusting. I am not sleeping with you tonight."
Oh no!
And he's like, "Really?
You
I'll
will
have it
not
every
be
night."
dunking.
Right.
You will not be dunking your Oreo tonight.
No.
Oh,
And he was, and I'm like, "Do you really like this? Do you really?" He goes, "Yes, I do. I like to dunk the Oreo in the milk." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's soggy." So anyway, I thought that was pretty funny and also disgusting.
I thought that was a universally liked thing.
No.
Dunking cookies in milk. I thought that was like because Santa Claus usually. I always just equated the two. I thought he was a dunker.
No, I'm going to say this, and I don't want to make anybody on this show feel bad, but I'm pretty sure Janine is the only one who doesn't like a dunked cookie on the planet.
There was a comment or two that I saw.
But people always said that they don't
sided
like.
with Janine.
Was there?
Yeah.
They said they don't like dunking.
Did you write down their names, Frank? Because you really should be keeping a list.
I don't keep lists of people's names. That's a you thing.
The soggy cookie. That's what it is. I don't like I don't like anything soggy. To me, soggy is the most disgusting thing in the world.
Do you want to hear something gross?
Oh, I was just going to tell you something gross. Go ahead.
My wife, you can go next, Frank.
Okay.
My wife will dunk a pound cake into milk.
That's good. Why is that gross?
It's delicious.
I
just knew it would gross her out. It's delicious.
You want to talk about gross, soggy cookie? Whenever you mention something like that, yeah. Not what I meant, but all right.
Wait, he's kidding.
Oh boy, not what I meant. All right, I can't even talk. I can't even bring this. I can't even say this story now.
I got a ghost suit anyway, so what was...
Well, you really sold that one, Janine. You really sold it.
I can't even say this story now. It's
go ahead.
It's not appropriate.
We got to go quick. Hurry up.
All right. Well, I just remember when you mentioned cookies being soggy and disgusting, it reminded me of my niece when she was little. They used to have this thing. I don't know if your kids ever had it. It's almost like a pacifier, but it's like a netting.
Yes.
And you put like a cookie or an ice cube or something in it, and they suck on it. And my niece, they used to put cookies in there, or whatever her snacks were, but they looked like cookies. And she would just suck. They would suck on them, and then when they would remove them, it would be this soggy, gross thing in a net, and they would throw them out. And it was the most disgusting looking thing I've ever seen. I was like, oh, that's just gross.
Yeah, but you drink the milk. I think that's disgusting.
The milk is good to drink.
I think that's disgusting. There's something about that that's gross.
Drinking milk?
With the bits of cookie in it.
Do you drink your milk after you eat cereal? Do you drink the bowl of milk?
I do.
No, I would never do that. Oh my God.
I do, but I literally pull every piece of cereal out of it. I don't.
So do I.
There's nothing in it. It's just specks.
I drink. Yeah, it's like if you have cocoa pebbles, it turns the whole thing into chocolate milk. I drink that.
Anyway, Mountain Dew's gonna have booze now, and it's
I'm looking forward to that.
The Boston Beer Company is the ones that are making it.
Hey, I'm in.
It's a cool looking can. Maybe we'll do taste test one night, and we'll get diabetes.
That's a good idea. When's it coming out? I'm in.
I don't know. Last bit now. Kanye is going around telling everybody that Pete Davidson has AIDS. So
I mean, when I read this, first of all, I opened up Facebook this morning and I'm like, oh, I wasn't gonna comment. I usually don't comment, but I have to comment on this. Like, what? I mean, yes, he looks like it, but come on.
Even though I'm pretty sure Kanye's making it up, it's not far-fetched enough because of his eyes to be like, maybe he does kind of have it.
He's just, what, you mean because he's...
But can I say this without offending anybody? Maybe he has a less potent AIDS because he was...
You're an ass.
But that's a fucked up... That's a fucked up thing for Kanye to say, though, because he's basically saying that his wife now has it, or had it, gave it to. I don't even know there. But
first of all, it's like it's like something you would say like in the early '90s, like not now. Like, first of all, people don't have AIDS now.
People don't have AIDS now?
No, I'm kidding. It's not like it was in the '80s.
It's more manageable now. Absolutely is.
A lot more, and I know that from commercials while watching Modern Family on USA, because there's for some reason I think a lot of people who have AIDS watch Modern Family on USA,
and the Golden Girls apparently.
Who's our audience?
They have honed in on that audience, boy. Let me tell you.
I mean, holy cow!
I mean, it's fucked up to say though. It really is. Like,
yeah. I mean, Pete Davidson could probably sue him for that.
I wonder. Yeah,
he's probably scared of him, so I'm sure he's not going to do anything.
Scared of Kanye West, really?
A little bit.
Or Ye is his legal name now.
That's right. I think Pete Davidson is scared of anybody. He should be.
Right, because he's 80 pounds looking wet.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, though? Oh, he hired more security, from what I heard, Pete Davidson, because of Kanye.
Is that right?
But he said something in his song that he was going to beat Pete's ass. So.
Right. You know what's weird, though? He changed his name to Ye, but I haven't seen or heard anybody call him that, like, ever. They still call him Kanye.
That's true.
Pete Davidson
should change his name to D. in response.
D or P.
Just DE. That would be the fucking great. Kanye wouldn't survive that.
No.
By the way, I don't think Kanye is going to survive this. I don't want to get morbid, but I think he's going to die at some point. I just don't think he can handle this.
There's something. He has a lot of mental issues. Obviously,
he's got some issues, definitely.
A lot. His wife left him, and she's fucking banging. Like, there's no. Does Kanye have a brother? Because that's the only thing that could be more insulting. The only person she could have slept with that made this worse is his own fucking brother,
or his father,
Kanye East,
or his father. Kanye East.
Kanye
it's like
North
the wicked.
his
It's
dad.
like the Witch of the West and the Witch of the East.
Got it.
Okay, good. I was hoping I wanted to bring you along on my.
Well, they named their kid South. Let's not forget that. That was
North.
fucking stupid.
North.
Oh, North. That's right. Or whatever it was. It doesn't matter. Kid's gonna change her name anyway. His name, whatever. That doesn't make a difference. That's it. That's all I got. You guys got anything else?
No, but I'm looking forward to that Mountain Dew taste test thing.
We should get fucked. Should we make it like the 420 show where we just drink it the whole entire show and see how long it takes us to get fucked up
We'll throw up
and laugh about
420.
Jesus hanging out with Ninja Turtles? Go ahead.
I forgot about that show coming up in
Oh, we got it right.
3.5 months.
Are we going to do version 2?
2.5 months. I'm in. I'll go 420 again. Now, is 420 a show day?
I don't know. We'll have to do an episode. We'll schedule the show around 420.
420 is a Wednesday.
See, the gods are smiling down upon us. It ain't all that bad. All right, that's it. Janine, do you want to put on any other animal print clothing before we go, or are you good?
No, I'm saving that for bed.
Okay.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means, but
Cats.
I don't mean that. I really don't mean that sexually either. I mean, like, I have long sleeve pajamas. I have long sleeve
Animal print
pajamas.
this is a historic moment. Janine has never uttered the phrase, "I don't mean that sexually." That's the first time I've ever heard her say that.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Here's a question: do either of you guys have onesie pajamas, head to toe? A onesie look like like when you were a kid, like feety things. Because those look really comfortable, and I'm thinking about getting.
I would never be able to sleep in that at all. I can't even sleep in long sleeve pajamas, shirts, or pants. I'll wear them. I'll wear them like when we watch TV, and then I change it to something else when we sleep.
Oh, I like to be snugly toasty.
But
Frank,
if I did wear one of those one piece things, I'd have to cut a hole and never mind.
You definitely need a butt flap.
Oh, I was talking about
or whatever
something
flap.
else flap, but okay.
Frank, something tells me you do have those pajamas already.
I don't, but I might soon have those.
Next episode, Janine, we have to talk about your job interview.
Oh,
We have to share this with everybody.
just think. This is pretty good, I have to say.
If the
What
first
job?
one
I
was
didn't-
at a penile implant company, I can't imagine how great this is going to be. So
Oh, I
next
don't know
episode,
about
though,
this.
we're
Damn
out
it.
of time. We're out of time.
Yep. Just
Come back.
ask. Just ask the one question. Would you ever interview for a job that you know that you would never ever take? And think about it.
No.
No.
You're
Okay.
not supposed to answer. That's supposed to be a teaser.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Teaser.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness! All right, that's it for us. If you're in the Northeast, stay safe with this nor'easter. We're supposed to get 12 to 18 inches, maybe 24 over here where I
I'll
am.
take 12 to 18 inches, but nothing less than 6.
That's what she said.
We'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.
Show me potato salad. Maybe we should go now.